Now, it's currently February when I'm making this video, February 24th, and I think it's already time to discuss that Man City season is probably over. Now, I just can't believe I'm saying these words, right? Man City season is over in February. They haven't really got much to play for. They have a little bit, as we'll get into throughout the video. But yeah, they're out the Champions League, they're out the League Cup, they're, fourth in the Premier League. They're 20 points away from Liverpool in first. Like, let me just say that one more time. Man City are 20 points behind Liverpool in first place, which is like, it's crazy, man. However, they still are in the FA Cup, as we will get into more deeply as well throughout the video. But they're against Plymouth, who have already beaten Brentford and Liverpool to get to where they are now in the 5th round. So I'm not saying that I think Plymouth will win against Man City because, they've beaten a few Premier League teams previous rounds. But like, maybe they could, I don't know. And surely, like, being Man City's last competition, they could genuinely win some silverware. They're gonna go all out for it, right? They're gonna give it the respect it deserves. It's the last chance they've got to get some silverware, last chance they've got to get any sort of joy from this season. But that is genuinely all they've got in February, is the FA Cup. Yeah, and maybe a top 4 scrape. It's crazy. Now, I'm sure, like myself and every other non-Man City fan out there, has been hoping and dreaming for this day. For, like, Man City to be, like, you're failing and slipping up and all this kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody expected it to be this bad. For the past 4 years, Man City have turned the Premier League into a farmers league, winning 4 in a row and all that, and doing it quite comfortably, to be honest. But never in our wildest dreams did we imagine that they could be 20 points behind the leaders, out the Champions League, out the League Cup. But this is important, right? This is genuinely serious. We have to enjoy it. We have to enjoy these times because it's not going to last forever. These days where Man City suck, these games where you can watch them lose against Liverpool so comfortably as well, and it's not going to last forever. There's going to be a time, probably even like next season, to be honest, where Man City will come back, they'll come strong and be good again. But for right now, for these days, just enjoy it, embrace it, and just be a part of the fact that Man City are bad and any team could beat them. Now, like I said, they've got a bit of a top 4 race going on right now, where they could get back into Champions League next season, which, would be massive for them considering how far they've fallen this season. To still be in Champions League is kind of crazy, to be honest. But considering the squad they've got, considering the manager they've got and the players they've got, they should be doing it regardless, right? Like, surely they can get top 4. Surely they can finish there, right? I mean, it's Man City we're talking about, but, you never know. And now they've got no Champions League fixtures, now they've got no League Cup fixtures or final to worry about. Obviously, the odd FA Cup game potentially here and there, but it's like 1 game a week. They've got 1 game per week, basically, for the rest of the season. Just to finish off the Premier League, they should be able to see it through, right? But at the same time, I still wouldn't be surprised if they finished in 7th. You know what I mean? The way things have gone for them this season, a couple more injuries to key players. I mean, Haaland's been out for the last 2 games for them. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but if things like that continue, these kind of unlucky injuries, yeah, they could easily be 7th. And we will be there, and we will enjoy it. So moving on to the next competition that Man City are in is the FA Cup. And this is the big one, alright? This is the one where they could, they've got a chance to get through to the next round. Surely they can beat Plymouth, right? But no, seriously, I think they have a chance. They could win the whole competition. They could get some silver this season despite how bad they've been. And looking at the FA Cup draw for Man City so far, it has been very, very kind to them. They had Salford in the 3rd round, which they won 8-0, I believe. They had Leighton Orient next after that. They beat them 2-1, and now they got Plymouth at home. To which, obviously Plymouth, like I said before, they have beaten some big teams already to get to this stage. But I do think, Man City at home, they should be able to deal with it. Obviously on paper, right? But Liverpool, thought that way as well, ended up losing. Brentford thought the same, ended up losing. So, but again, we mentioned it earlier about how it's Man City's basically last chance to win any silverware. And when it's like last resort, when it's gone to the wall, it's like do or die situation for them to get anything out of this season. I think they'll take it very seriously, give it the respect it deserves, and I believe they should come out on top. And this is no disrespect to, Salford or to Leighton Orient or Plymouth, because obviously very good teams, they've done well to get this far. But it's Man City we're talking about. They're probably the last thing they've got to play for. This is basically their cup final against Plymouth, to get each stage as a cup final for them, just to keep going and going through the competition. So I think they'll do it, but it'll be super fun if they don't. And even looking at the remaining teams in the competition, there's still a few teams that could beat them. If they get a bit of an unlucky draw, like they've had a very lucky draw so far, if they seem to get Man U who get through, if they get Villa who get through, if they get Newcastle or Forest, all these kind of teams are still very good teams in the FA Cup, despite there being no Liverpool and no Arsenal or no Chelsea or whatever, There's still very big teams remaining in the cup that could easily beat Man City, so it's not a done deal even if they get past Plymouth. It all depends, I suppose, on the route to the final. But as we always do on these videos, we like to end it on a positive note. You know, for Man City fans out there watching this, it's not all doom and gloom. Despite how bad you guys have been this season and all the competitions you've been knocked out of, there's still one you're in and there's still a chance to top 4. And like we said, 1 game per week will go in your favour. FA Cup draws being kind and potentially big teams being knocked out already is another thing going in your favour. So there's a chance. There's a chance of top 4 and a chance of a trophy. And I think if you talk to Man City fans today, they definitely bite your hand off for it. That'll be a somewhat successful season considering all the drawbacks and all the pain they've gone through already. It would be respectable. Now, as a Chelsea fan, I would probably snap your hand off for a similar thing. To finish top 4 for Chelsea is like a distant dream at this point. To potentially win the Conference League as well, that'd be nice. So I can imagine Man City fans would be happy with their FA Cup trophy and a top 4 finish. And it's definitely on the cards. It's not out of the picture yet. There is still a chance. So stay positive. I think good things may come. But this is where I want to know from you guys down below in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think Man City can get top 4? Can they win the FA Cup? Are they going to even get through Plymouth? You know, at this point, because obviously Plymouth have beaten Liverpool, beaten Brentford. They know what they're doing. They could turn up at the Etihad and cause an upset, which would be hilarious. But let me know what you think down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Thank you as always for watching my dudes. I do appreciate it as always. Incredible support on the channel. But yeah, that's going to do it from me. Take it easy. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video when we talk about some football in a bit.